our next speaker, Burzynski, president of the Wisconsin Association of Retired Americans.
Hello, Wisconsin! My name is Burzynski. I'm a retiree from the Electrical Workers 494 and the president of the Wisconsin Alliance for Retired Americans. On behalf of the WIRA officers and directors and our 103,000 Wisconsin members, I want to express our outrage at Governor Scott Walker's anti-labor measures and his draconian budget cuts for seniors and people with disabilities, public education, health care coverage, and veteran services. We need to stop the Wisconsin legislature from moving forward with the governor's anti-labor measures to eliminate collective bargaining for public employees. The governor claims he needed these anti-labor measures to address state and local units of budget and budget cuts. That is a lie! The State Employees Union accepted additional concessions to address the state budget, but the governor said no, he's not going to compromise. The governor didn't do this for fiscal reasons. This was a power grab for his right-wing pals. The governor's budget significantly cuts programs affecting Wisconsin seniors. He talks about shared sacrifice of Wisconsin citizens. Yet his budget has not one single provision that shows any sacrifice for Wisconsin corporations and wealthy Wisconsin citizens. He gives over $200 million in tax breaks to corporations and provides tax cuts for the wealthy. In balancing his budget, the governor cut the homestead tax credit, which will increase taxes for seniors who have low incomes. He forces over 90,000 Wisconsin seniors and disabled residents on the highly successful senior care drug program to sign up for Medicare Part D. That will significantly add out-of-pocket expenses. For many of these folks, it's several $1,000s every year more for their drugs. He cut transit aid for seniors and people with disabilities by over $9 million. He freezes family care and breaks the promise originally made in long-term care. Family care provides services that allow seniors to remain in their homes and community. This will result in only one thing. That freeze will mean that the waiting list will grow and seniors will be served in nursing homes at a much higher cost. Brothers and sisters, this is not shared sacrifice. The governor demonizes our state employees and public workers like nurses and teachers. He doesn't give a damn about the people who plow our snow, maintain our roads, and work as guards in our prisons. These dedicated public services provide the services that make our state a great place to live. The governor has demonstrated he stands with the special interest of big business and his national right-wing buddies, not the citizens of Wisconsin. We need to take back our state. Brothers and sisters, we need to protect and support those who are fighting against the governor's radical budget proposal. We need to change the Wisconsin State Senate by working in the recall elections to defeat those senators. Are you with us? It gives me great pleasure to introduce Malone, the president of the Wisconsin Firefighters. Thank you.
Well, I'd like to send a thank you first to people that we never thank when we come to these rallies, and that is the people that actually plan the rallies and do a lot of their hard work and put a lot of effort behind it. So let's give them a round of applause. Well, we've had an opportunity to go all across the country with our message. And I can tell you a couple things. One thing is that everybody's listening. Everybody's watching Wisconsin. And another thing is that we have touched lives of Americans all across the United States. And they're watching. But I did get a new chant when I was in Portland, Oregon, a couple months ago, a month ago now, I don't know. It doesn't necessarily apply to our message, but I think it's pretty important. It's real short and goes a little something like this. It says, banks get bailed out, people get sold out. So we're going to say that real loud so they can hear it back in Portland, Oregon. I told them I'd bring it back home. So 1, 2, 3.
Banks get bailed out, people get sold out. 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 Banks get bailed out, people get sold out.
Very good, very good. So I'm going to keep it real short. We've been asked to keep it brief. We know it's cold out here. So I only have 2 questions. My first question is, what is the role of the union? Well, I'm going to tell you. The American dream. The American dream we look at as an opportunity. Well, the role of the union is to make the American dream an opportunity to live with dignity and to enjoy the fruits of your labor. We're asking for appropriate pay for hard work, affordable health care for us and our families, the ability to buy a home, the ability to send our kids to college, and to live decently in their retirement. These are the values that we fight for, and these are the values that we fight for in the union, each and every one of us here today. The unions help to preserve a balance of power in this country, ensuring that corporate interests and the bottom line don't trump the American dream or American values. One of the greatest strengths of Wisconsin is that we have a sustainable middle class, and we have to keep it that way, because right now we are the last defense, ladies and gentlemen. We are the people that are standing in front of the Koch brothers. We are the people that are standing in front of Scott Walker's legislation that strips us of our rights, strips us of our ability to sit down with our employer, talk about hours, wages, and working conditions. We are the last defense. Look around. We have to stand strong and stand together. Now, my second question is, what's the role of the other side? What's the role of government? Well, I did a little research, and nowadays when us younger people research, what we do is we don't go to the library, we go to the computer and Google it. So I Googled what is the role of government, and what came up right away? 1854, Abraham Lincoln wrote an essay, and he asked that question, what is the role of our government? Why do we need government? Why do we pay taxes? He says, the legitimate object of government is to do for the people what they need to have done, but which they cannot do at all or cannot do so well for themselves in their separate and individual capacities. So certainly no individual can deliver modern medical health care to himself. He can't be his own fire department. He can't be his own police department. One person can't plow all the roads in the state of Wisconsin. He can't build a road. He can't build a bridge by himself. He can't provide for common schools. So this is the role of government. So now we're going to ask our government to do the right thing and do what we just talked about, instead of taking workers' rights from common people like ourselves. What is our government trying to do right now, or what is the state of Wisconsin Republicans, and I don't even like to call them Republicans, there's something farther reaching than Republicans, because Abraham Lincoln was a Republican. Abraham Lincoln was a Republican. These are Republicans that we're dealing with, ladies and gentlemen. This is a whole new fight. Something we've never seen before. These are radicals. Right now they're trying to eliminate our voice, desensitize us, discredit us, and defund us. We can't let that happen because this is an attack on the way of life. This is an attack on our power. I heard a term the other day in Baltimore last week. It was called the pornography of power. That's what we have going on in our state, the pornography of power. Right now, 1% of the nation controls 42% of the wealth. The pornography of power. And they want more. They don't want just this. They want more than what the 42%. Many compare our movement right now to the civil rights movement. Many compare it to that. But if there was one critique of the civil rights movement, it was that they became somewhat complacent. And they became complacent with the many victories that they won during that day. Brown versus Board of Education in Topeka, Kansas. Voting Rights Act of 1964 and 1965. Now these were all important pieces of legislation. There are other important pieces of landmark legislation that got us to where we are today. But they stopped taking it to the streets. They stopped doing what we're doing right now and rallying and letting them hear right behind us in our house what we want. And not what we ask for, but what we demand. Now maybe they stopped taking it to the streets because there was no need for those type of tactics anymore. Maybe it went from the streets to the courthouse. But they stopped having sit-ins. They stopped going to restaurants, sitting there, making their voices heard. Well, I gotta tell you, I think maybe they lost their sense of moral outrage and their sense of anger. But I'm here to tell you today that we have to reclaim our moral outrage and our righteous indignation because this is our time and we are the fight of our lifetime. This is our time. Because this is our time. And the role of the union, lastly, is for us to organize. We went from organizing to servicing. We need to get back to organizing and take care of our people. We have to keep the pressure on. And we have to keep the pressure on and let them hear us. We got to make sure that AFSCME, SEIU, AFT, WEAC, firefighters, police officers, UAW, we all together and we fight together. Personnel aside, we have to keep bonding together. We cannot stop this fight. We have to have sustainability. We have to keep going, make our voices heard. Our resolve has to be stronger. Our pain has to run deeper. Our passion has to last longer, and we cannot be desensitized. We cannot let them defund us. We cannot let them get rid of us, because if they had their way, they would get rid of the middle class. We'd be back to eating government cheese, and I'm not going back to that. No. I say hell no. So let's do it. Because this is something in one individual. This is something bigger than one individual. This is not about you. This is not about me. This is about us. And we have to unite. This is about history. This is about justice. And I guarantee when we're done, we will be on the right side of history. And I damn well know we're on the right side of history.